Welcome to this episode of Junk Food on the Road. This time we are talking about
Oman.
And we actually went. We're not just making up stuff now like we sort of like our retrospectives and carnival treats and stuff. It's like
it's an actual regular episode.
We've actually been traveling.
Yeah, so this is our first real vacation trip.
Yeah, I mean, we did a couple of little road trips, but...
Yeah, most of them would fit within the U.S., which I think will always be several chapters.
Yeah.
Because the U.S. is pretty big, and I think even Canada, we might do parts.
Did we do one for our trip?
I think we did Syracuse.
Around the lakes?
Maybe.
I think we might have done Syracuse.
Anyway. So.
Anyway, this time we went to Oman.
Yes, and the cool thing, too, is often when we travel, we visit like a city or two, but here we visited quite a few places, actually.
Yeah, we rented a car and did some road trips, like some day trips.
Yeah.
And that was really fun.
Without talking just food, probably the coolest place that we went was Mizfat.
Yes, it's a little village up in the mountains, and it's made with it's got a lot of mud houses and a beautiful oasis valley that you can hike through, and some natural springs and gorgeous views and
for food wise, probably one of the most wonderful settings for a coffee shop I've ever seen.
Oh my goodness, we were on the rooftop of a mud house.
I
think we climbed 150 steps to get there or something.
Yeah. Over a giant over the valley with all the date palms.
And a donkey behind us.
Yeah, there was a donkey by it, and there was an old fort ruin next to it too.
Yeah.
So it was like, maybe the food was good. We had tacos, but it was more like just like a shawarma type thing.
Yeah, but it was good.
It was very good. It was
really, really good.
It was good.
Excellent coffee.
And good first aid treatment.
Yes.
I skinned my knee and I needed a Band-Aid, and they provided not only a Band-Aid but an alcohol wipe and everything. So
yeah, they had an alcohol wipe and something else to clean it.
And a first aid kit. They had a full-on first aid kit. So
yeah. So a service with first aid as well.
Yeah, so that was totally, yeah. I mean, I know it was probably one of the highlights of this trip.
And what was also cool was all the way along the hike, there were, this isn't food, but it's nourishment. They had water stations of purified water.
At all the mosques.
Was it all the mosques?
Mm-hmm.
I guess there was one that wasn't attached to any buildings at all on the other side of the valley as we were about to finish our hike.
Okay, maybe.
But we didn't get any water there. I think we were okay.
No, there was a mosque. There was a little mosque. The yellow building was a mosque.
I don't remember.
It's a little yellow building that was over the edge of the cliff, and it was right next door to the thing. It was all of them were attached to mosques.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't remember there being any buildings at all near that last one.
Yep.
I wish I'd taken a picture of it.
I've got a picture of it. I'll show it to you later.
Okay. Because right now I really don't believe you.
Okay. But food-wise in Oman, I think the number one food that you can sort of think about, particularly snacks and junk food, is dates.
Of course.
I mean, dates are just everywhere.
Chris has a date story at the what is it? The gate
the
over
Museum of Gates.
The museum over
or the Gate Museum.
The Gate Museum it's basically the gateway into Old Muscat, and they have a museum, and it was just the best experience ever.
Yeah. So basically, what happened is we just went to this. It's a small museum. I mean, it's over a bridge, so it can't be that big. It's basically one large room. It's a fairly big room, but it's one room. And we were just sort of walking around, and there was a guy there. And he basically said, "Oh, welcome and everything." And then
we were talking about the different sultans.
Well, we were asking about dates.
not the food.
Not the food. So the dates led to dates, strangely enough. So we were asking about dates, like calendar dates, because we were asking about the Muslim calendar dates and sort of how they worked.
What was the name of the sultan that was like the big deal? They named the mosque, the big giant mosque, after him. I don't even remember anymore.
I want to say something.
Caboose.
Sultan Caboose.
Which is not spelled like the end of a train.
No, it's not. I don't know. But so yeah, Allison was looking at some of the panels and was sort of curious about the double dates on it, and we basically started.
It's like, were there two Sultan Cabooses, like 800 years or 600 years apart from each other, or?
Yeah, which is possible. Family type things happen, but yeah. So she was asking about sort of how the Muslim calendar worked, and this guy explained it, and he was also explaining about the importance of dates for like greetings and stuff like that. And then he runs off to his desk, which was in the far corner of this thing, and comes back with a bowl of dates and says, "Oh, you can have one. You can have some." And it's like, "Oh, great." And we both took a date and ate it, and it was good. And I said, "Take some more." And he handed me a tissue. And I filled it up full of dates,
or he filled it up.
He filled it up, yeah, pretty much. Like half of the dates ended up in this tissue.
At least half of them. And we're like, "No, we don't want to take your snack." And he goes, "No, I bring it so that I can give it to people so they can experience Omani culture."
And throughout our entire thing, we sort of learned the importance.
I think we were the only people he'd spoken with in days.
Yeah, but I mean, we learned too. Like we went to some of the forts sort of around the countryside and everything, and a lot of it, there was a lot of things about the sultans or the imams in those forts, and one of the things they would do when guests come is they'd have these giant platters with dates.
Mm-hmm. We visited a date processing room in one of the forts.
Yeah.
Well, the only fort that we could actually go inside.
Yeah, which is another story. But dates is like historically and still remains a very important thing. And we even went to like an old fashioned restaurant that was sort of served traditional food, and I had this like porridge that had date syrup as a traditional food.
And we found some date syrup in a bottle in a grocery store.
We bought a bottle of date syrup. So
have you cracked it yet?
I have not cracked it yet. I'm thinking about making some cookies with it. It makes sense to make raisin cookies with date syrup, but I don't know. I'll see.
I don't know. I thought you were going to put it on your pancakes.
I don't know. We'll see. But I've got some date syrup. But dates is definitely like junk food, and it's like a greeting. And of course, dates in the Middle East are always important because you also look at like.
It's how they break this.
They break the fast.
Yeah, they break the fast during Ramadan.
Yes.
Every night.
So dates are always really important. But in Oman, we were told as well, I think it might have been by that same guy, that Oman has the sort of most and best dates in the Middle East because of the mountains. And so it has a slightly different climate than a lot of the sort of more dry desert areas, so they can grow dates really, really well. And I'll be honest, I think of any place we've been to, first of all, in the Middle East, the most we've been out in the countryside, so take that in consideration, but it is the most dates I've ever seen growing in a single place in my life.
And they were some fine dates.
Yeah.
Like those were really good dates there.
Yeah, so it's like, and in stores, there'd be like whole sections, like there'd be the bulk section and then the bulk dates section.
Yeah.
And then there'd be a shelf of just dates. Like.
And I seriously had never ever seen date syrup before in any country I've been in.
Yeah.
Maybe I just never saw it or noticed it, but
yeah.
That was sort of something new for me.
And again, we've been to the UAE, and then you'll see later in a future episode, we went to Qatar as well. And
on the same trip.
And while dates were definitely a thing in those places, it didn't seem like as much as Oman. Like it really felt like Oman was really sort of into dates. And so, which leads me to the possibility that maybe they do grow more dates there just because of the climate and everything like that. So
maybe, and they were really good dates.
Yeah, they were great dates.
And you want to talk about that restaurant that we ate at?
Like the old fashioned.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good.
I don't remember what I had, but it was so good.
You had like a meat. It was like a stew.
Yeah.
Yeah, was it lamb?
Probably.
Okay.
That's my go-to.
Yeah, and I had like a porridge with date stuff, yeah. And it was a really heavy porridge. I mean, for a dinner, it was extremely heavy, but it was really good.
But then for dessert,
they had something mixed sweets, which was good.
Mixed traditional sweets. So it was a whole bunch of like traditional sweets. I blogged about it on candycritic.org, sort of with pictures, and I talk about it a little bit. Halva was a big part of it, and then there was some sort of like, fig cookies and date things. There was nothing wrong with that plate at all. No. It was just yumness the whole way.
Now, I must say, one of the things I really liked about it is the fact that it was a selection of sweets. Because so often we go to restaurants, or we'll travel, and we'll go to like a traditional restaurant, and they'll have desserts, but you have to sort of pick one.
Yeah, and they made sure that there were two of everything, except that there was one thing.
No, there's two things. The halva we had to split in half.
Yeah, but it was two kinds of halva.
Yeah, so we
cut up the two kinds of halva.
But they were big squares too.
Yeah, they were.
And of course we got dates.
Yes, and there were dates.
There's a big thing. You get like a big bowl of dates, and you can kind of take as many as you want.
At the beginning, right?
Like, it was at the end.
Was it at the end?
It was at the end. Yeah.
I thought they put it down on your table so that you could break your fast.
No, I don't. I think they only do the dates for at the beginning when it's Ramadan, and then they do it at the end when it's not, or at least that's my suspicion.
I don't know.
But that traditional restaurant was really good.
What I'm learning here is we still have a lot to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I still have a thing of dates and
Yeah.
covered.
And there was also Tim Hortons.
Yes. So
They had Oreo cookie Timbits and Kit Kat Timbits and Biscoff. Donuts and Timbits.
And the chocolate glaze was fascinating. Because it wasn't a glaze, it was almost a syrup.
Yeah. But not like overly done. Like it wasn't goopy. You
No.
could still pick it up, but it was just sort of lightly syruped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you went to Tim Hortons like
Every morning.
to the point where they got your order. They knew your order.
Yeah. She would have it ready for me by the time she'd see me coming in the mall because our hotel was attached to a mall. So she'd see me coming down the hallway in the mall, and by the time I got there, she'd have my coffee for me.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I liked that. And was that the mall where we had the stale peanut Snickers?
Yeah.
Yeah, Countryside's definitely the better place to go for food. Well, I don't know. It was like a lot of that stuff is prepackaged, and it all seemed to say made in Saudi Arabia. So you don't know how. We went to this like fancy looking chocolate shop because we wanted to pick up some chocolates to take home as a thank you gift for somebody who arranged a babysitter for our plants. And so this guy was like so happy about, his chocolates, and he was like, they're all from Saudi Arabia. And it's like, okay, well I guess that's a good thing.
Yep.
And then he's like, here, try it. It's called a Snickers. And he hands us this like truffle thing that's like coated in peanuts. And so that we could sample it, and we took a bite, and I don't think I've ever had staler peanuts in my life.
Yeah.
So I guess they don't do so many sales there or something, and I don't know. I mean, COVID has really killed tourism, and it's just starting to come back. So
yeah, we did manage to get to some interesting. I mean, Tim Hortons, we ate at IKEA.
Yes, we did.
As we could. And the meatballs tasted a little different, and my guess is that IKEA meatballs normally have pork in them, and those did not.
That's probably true. Because you never really know what's in. Like, I guess if you bought the frozen meatballs in the little store, there's ingredients listed, but they don't list the ingredients in the restaurants.
Yeah, so my assumption is it tasted a little different. And the other thing I noticed about candy is all the gummies were vegan.
Well, yeah, because gelatin comes from pork.
Can come from pork. It can come from beef as well, but it's generally pork.
But it's mostly pork.
So that was an interesting thing I noticed, was that all the gummies that they had were the vegan ones. So
yeah,
I thought it was a little weird at first. I was like, wow, there's so many vegan gummies here, and then I realized all the gummies were vegan. So that was kind of cool.
That was kind of cool.
It
was really good.
A lot of Galaxy chocolate too, which was quite popular there for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah. But all that coming up on candycritic.org. There'll be reviews.
Okay.
Chips were also quite a popular.
Yeah, there's an Oman brand chips.
Yep, Chips Oman is what it's called.
I didn't have any personally, but you had a couple of bags, I think.
I still haven't eaten them yet. I will. I'll get to them.
Oh, you haven't eaten any of them? I thought you ate one of them already.
No, not yet.
Well, then, we prematurely did this junk food on the road, didn't we?
Wow.
I want to know how the chips are.
So do a lot of people on Reddit right now. Posting pictures, and they're like, how are the chips? And it's like...
Well, I think when we do Qatar, we'll have to have a little sort of adjunct. Oh, and by the way, the chips on Oman were...
Unless we do Qatar right after this. I'm not going to eat them tonight.
Oh, eat the chips. You have to try them.
Well, you can read the review on candycritic.org and know how...
I don't go to candycritic.org.
My wife's supporting me all the time.
Yes, I do support you.
She puts up with my stuff. So, is there anything else in Oman? And we went to Chi-Chi's. That was a Mexican place?
Chili's. We went to Chili's. Chili's. That was I felt like I was in the U.S. when we were in Chili's.
The portion size was quite large.
Yeah, I ate twice with one meal.
Yeah.
And even then, I kind of stuffed myself.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then
that was. What else did we? We went to a movie.
yeah. McDonald's.
IMAX. We saw Avatar. What's the name of the Avatar movie?
The water one.
The Taste of Water? No.
Nobody cares.
We saw it on IMAX.
Yeah.
We didn't get any popcorn,
Yeah.
but I snuck some nuts in. Oh, and we got some really good nuts.
The hazelnuts were
The
really good.
hazelnuts were spectacular, and the walnuts were also spectacular.
We just finished them.
Yeah, those were really good.
Yeah.
Can't remember what else. Thinking what we ate like some Philly cheesesteak that was so.
Charlie's cheesesteak.
We had some shawarma that was pretty good, but it didn't come with all the shawarma trappings that we're used to in
It
Canada.
was just French fries, meat, and some sauce.
And a wrap.
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't have like the pickled turnip or the.
I guess it's Lebanese style.
Maybe, yeah.
Probably do a whole episode. Maybe we should try and.
Wait, let's go to Lebanon.
Yeah, I think Lebanese. I feel like the shawarma that I know is Lebanese, but that's because Ottawa has a large Lebanese population.
In Toronto, Sarah's on Bloor is Lebanese as well.
Yeah, so maybe that's just my cultural bias. That
Yeah. In Greece, the gyros are sort of like just pita with like
tzatziki and
a little tzatziki, some French fries, and some meat as well.
yeah, sometimes it has lettuce.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're digressing.
Yeah.
Because I think I've run out of stuff. I don't really remember.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if there's any other restaurants we ate at. Like I said, McDonald's. Oh, they had your raspberry pies.
Strawberry custard pies at McDonald's.
There you go.
Another country. They didn't have them in Qatar. They only had them in Oman. They tend to have them in Dubai. They have them in Cyprus, or they did when we used to go there. I've seen them in a few. We saw them in China once.
Okay.
In Shanghai. So they're out there, but they're not everywhere.
I'm surprised the custard pies haven't gone to the U.S. I feel like it's something they'd really
They're
like.
so good. They're just so good. We've had, during Ramadan in Dubai, we had the date and custard pies, which might have been the best ones ever. But I love I love strawberry jam, so.
Yeah, I'm just surprised. And they're fried. The interesting thing about them too is, and I don't know if this is with everywhere, but it seems to be sort of a trend. All the pies are made to order.
Yes, oh my God, they're so hot.
Like,
you can't eat them.
No, you got to wait like 5 or 10 minutes to eat them because they're just scorchingly hot. There wasn't one time where they were like, oh, you're going to have to wait 5 or 10 minutes for us to make one.
Yeah,
Which
they
is
do.
weird.
And if you sit in the restaurant and eat your McDonald's, if you're not just getting pie, which we did at least once.
Yeah.
They bring you your food because you do that little sort of number table stand thing.
Yeah.
And they bring you your food, and then they're like, your pie is coming, and then about halfway through your burger, they bring you your pie. And by the time you're done your burger, they're still really hot.
Yeah, I think there was once that we sat long enough. I think we took it back to the room or something, and it was cool enough.
Yeah, it was just cool. Like, yeah, it was about 20 minutes, and
Yeah.
it was like just right.
Yeah. So what we learned from that is those McDonald's, where they keep them in the machine thing or that dispenser, there's a reason.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And they deep fry them, which Americans in particular will be jealous of because they all have the baked ones only.
Yeah.
Fried pies, man.
Although I like the pie. I like the baked pies too.
I like them both, but I like the variety.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, for the nostalgia, the fried pies, right? Like, it's nostalgic for us. Which is kind of cool that, they're out there in the world. So if you find the right country, you can get a fried McDonald's pie.
If you're really desperate for a fried pie, go to Oman.
Go to Oman or China.
I think Singapore does baked.
Do they?
Yeah, but they have a different pie crust.
I think Japan still does fried.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know. Maybe we should do a junk food on the road just on McDonald's pie.
Maybe.
Because remember the Thai pie with the chocolate?
Yeah, and I've had a few savory pies too.
Yeah.
Corn is also a really common pie filling.
Corn and potato.
So.
Together.
No, I've also just regular corn.
Just corn?
I think Thailand is they have just a corn. They have corn and pineapple. I think are the two regular flavors you get.
Wow.
So, yeah. Oh, the other thing, Oman, I was going to mention, drinks with mint in them. So you can
I did not partake in any of
You
that.
can get iced tea and juice and everything, and they put mint in it. It's actually kind of nice. And
That's true. You got mint tea at Tim Hortons.
I got mint tea at Tim Hortons. I got mint pineapple juice at the airport in Oman. It was mint pineapple juice, and I also got like a mint orange juice somewhere too. I think it was mint orange juice.
I don't think they would do mint orange juice.
It was another
Have
juice.
you ever brushed your teeth and then had orange juice?
But the mint pineapple juice was the most surprisingly good. Like, I was really amazed at how good that was. So.
I remember you liked it. I remember you described the Tim Hortons one as very, very minty.
And
because what they
mint
do
lemonade.
is they put, yes, you had mint lemonade for sure. But the mint tea was basically they took mint leaves and put it in a blender with water and then added ice. It's like, wow.
That was good.
Yeah, that was pretty extreme.
And then I got a bag, I haven't tried it yet, mint tang. Mint lemon mint tang.
I knew you got a bottle of Tang or a bag of Tang, but I didn't know.
I haven't had it yet, but I will.
I thought there was a lime something.
Maybe it was lime tang or lemon lime tang. But it had mint.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah, that's about it for Oman.
I think so. I think that's good. Like we did some stuff. We went swimming, we went wading in a sinkhole of a wadi.
A lot of hiking.
Did some hiking.
Lots of snacks.
Yeah, we did have a lot. I
got into
snacked
chicky.
it up.
Those are those bars with the nuts and almost like sesame snaps.
Oh yeah.
But
you also had dinner at a place called Chickies, didn't you? With the chicken.
Chickies, yeah, I did have a chicken. It's like chicky chicken or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, but like the chicky is it's a type of like sweet thing. It's done with like honey and seeds. It's quite good.
The day we went wading in the wadi, we took a Subway.
Classy.
Takeaway lunch.
Subway's always good for that. People make fun of Subway, but when you're on a
you
trip,
just did.
But when you're on a trip, it's like it's a great quick thing that you can throw in a bag and go, and you're gonna have a
for sure. I love getting Subway to pack me my lunch to go.
Yeah. So.
We did it at Schwartz's once too in Montreal. But that's, I don't know if we did a Junk Fud on the road about that.
I don't know.
The trip to Granby.
No, I don't think it existed then.
Granby existed. Junk Fud on the road didn't.
No.
Yeah.
So. Okay. Well, that's it.
Yeah. We've stretched this baby out as far as it'll go.
Yep. So that's we're talking about Oman.
Oman.
So.
It was excellent. You know what? Go to Oman. It was a really, really good time.
It was a really nice place.
Yeah.
So thanks for listening to another episode of Junk Fud on the Road, where we talked about
Oman.
As always, you can follow me on Twitter @CandyCritic, or go to candycritic.org and find links to all of our other social media, including Instagram and Tumblr and Patreon. You can get it there. And don't forget, you can pick up the 2 books, Snack Facts and Treats and Beasts. You can pick those up on candycritic.org as well. Pick them up. They're cool books, and they help support the site. So
they are cool books.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.